Hi, everyone. I'm Crystal Parker, president of the Central Florida Christian Chamber of Commerce, and I'm beyond excited to share with you a special guest that we have speaking next week, March 11th, at the Relationship Building event. We have the one and only Lee Cockerell. So, Lee, it looks like you've got 4 books displayed back there. Which one was your favorite book?
Well, I guess the first one's always a favorite. Creating Magic was the first one I did, and it's really taken off. It's in 22 languages around the world today, and we have a podcast that is from that book. It's called Creating Disney Magic. It's 15 minutes every Tuesday on leadership, management, and customer service. So I guess that's my first love, creating magic.
That's great. Lee, what was your very first job that you ever had?
Well, I grew up on a farm in Oklahoma, so on 3rd grade, my job was every morning to put on a pair of white overalls over my school clothes and go down to the barn and milk a cow by hand. Even though we had electric milkers, I guess that was my development program. So my parents had me do that. I sold that milk for 50 cents to the people across the street, the Thompson family. And so that's my first adventure into commerce. And so
Wow.
that was good. And then after that, you work always on a farm. Then I worked in lumber yards. I drove delivery trucks or delivery cars for drugstores to deliver prescriptions to people who were sick. I worked in the kitchen in college. I've worked in housekeeping. I've turned down beds. I was the grease man in Tahoe. I went around and emptied the grease off all the grills every night. I had a little cart that I did that with. I've done a lot of things, and they were all great. I learned a lot from each one of them. Yeah.
Do you think that's why you've been able to relate so well to people like your employees and motivate great teams because you are willing to jump in with them? Is that part of it?
Absolutely. I've learned it from the ground up. I've done all those jobs. I know what they're doing. They know I know. And so when I enter whatever area it is, they know that even if I don't know about it, I have a good ability to make contact with people quickly and to appreciate them and get them to trust me. And they should trust me because I want to be trusted. And, somebody said, how do you become trusted? I said, be trustworthy. Be careful what you say and do. Do what you say you're going to do. Keep your promises. Be reliable, be credible. When you think about your life in those ways, you'll always do the right thing.
I hear people talk a lot about, I'm trying to motivate my team and I want to motivate people that work for me. Have you seen a difference between the generations in the workplace? Are there different motivating factors for people, or is there one sort of secret recipe?
Well, I think there's probably a secret recipe. I tell people to quit trying to judge people based on what year they were born and start judge everybody as individuals, because in every generation there are great people, there are average people, there are people that are not so great. And we try to run around saying those people. We got that problem in everything in our lives of those people are a problem, and these people are a problem, and that religion's a problem, and this university's a problem. No, judge people as individuals, because I have 3 grandkids. They're all great. They're all doing well. They all got college degrees. They're biomedical engineers and marketing, and they get promoted. I mean, they're not a problem. My son's not a problem. He's very successful. He was the vice president of the Magic Kingdom. He worked for Disney for 25 years. So I don't know where people get this. I think usually the people complaining are the problem.
Lee, just enjoy it. Okay, here's kind of a curveball question for you. So a lot of our members are believers and they have their own business, and some people actually work in another company, but they're a believer in God. Have you found it easier to walk in your faith in a corporate environment or as your own boss?
Oh, I don't think it matters if you're really in your faith. I think that would be an odd thing to say, well, I believe in God until I work for myself. I mean, there's a lot of times in corporate life and personal life and in personal situations in everybody's life where you need that support and that spirit and that belief and that. I don't think so. I think you got to decide early on in your life what you will stand for and what you won't stand for. And when it comes up in corporate life, people should already know that you're going to do the ethical thing, the right thing. And so you might not find yourself in those situations if you make sure people know who you are and what you stand for. And that's the problem. Once you give in to the little things, the big things, they get bigger and bigger, and then you get into trouble. And, a lot of criminals are Christians.
I really like what you said there in terms of if you just let yourself be out loud. I remember reading a quote once from Disney saying that if the values are clear, the decisions are easy. And exactly. I really like that.
Absolutely. That's right. That's exactly right. And a lot of people state they have values, but they don't practice them and they don't live them. And everybody around you knows the difference. They know. Everybody knows. You don't fool people by saying one thing and doing something else. That doesn't work. And we got a lot of that going on in the world right now. So.
Yes, a lot of it, and a lot of masks for sure.
Yeah, right.
So now you have the Lee Cockerell Academy. Are you teaching people these principles, or like what can they expect if they were to get enrolled in this academy?
Yeah, right now we've got 9 courses. There'll be a 10th course coming up very shortly called Real Leadership. We have one in world-class customer service, which is 39 10 to 12 minute little lessons on how to do it. It's based on my second book. We got one on time management, how to get your life together, get organized, make the right decisions so you don't have regrets later in your life. I always say, you either take time to plan your life and lead your life, or you'll spend a lot of time living a life you don't want. Because that's what happens to people. Time gets away from them. And so, and the Cockerell Academy is a subscription rate. It's $400. It gets you access. We have a once a month community meeting where everybody can come online and talk to me and ask questions. And I get all kinds of questions, from how to deal with poor performers to how to think about your strategy and so we've got we're doing a lot of fun with it, working with a lot of universities with it, because young people really can use this to set themselves apart. And I would think anybody looking for a job today, you want to set yourself apart, because a lot of people are looking for a lot of jobs and there's not so many available right now. So we've loved doing it. I've always wanted to do it, and finally during the pandemic I had time to do it. So it's really fun, and it's at you can reach it at www.cockerellacademy.com, and it'll tell you all about it, and you can decide if it's for you or for your kids. Even for this event coming up at your event, I really recommend to everybody listening, let your kids in on this. Let your kids tune in or come. Let them get online. This will be stuff that'll change their life, I guarantee you. And I know that's, I always hate to say that, because it sounds like, well, what's this guy think? He knows the answers to life? Well, I know a lot. And I guarantee you, every single person will pick up something they would go home and can implement and have a better life. Guarantee you. Yeah.
Well, one thing that really impressed me about you is actually the first time I got to hear you was on a national call with Thrivent. You were doing time management. And I was listening in, I heard you, and I was immediately interested in everything you had to say. The wisdom and the things that you said were really just amazing. And then you mentioned that you were from Orlando, and I thought, I'm just going to take a shot and link up with him on LinkedIn. And immediately you reached out to me and we connected. You're very humble. Can you talk about the importance of humility in a leader? Because you don't see that much. And I'm so impressed with what you and who you are.
We need more humility. I said, I grew up in Oklahoma. Everybody's got a gun, so I'm very humble. Just be nice to people. It'll work out better for you.
Yeah, that's good.
There's no upside to be. There's no upside to being mean. None.
That's very true. And plus, frowning takes more effort.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
We're going to call this 5 minutes of fun with Lee. Okay, one last just for fun question. What's the last new thing that you did or tried?
The last new thing. Well, I've done a lot of very interesting things. It wasn't that long ago I jumped out of an airplane with the United States Army. Actually, even more. I went to Baghdad during the war and did 13 seminars for our military. I flew into Kuwait and went to Baghdad airport and stayed at one of Saddam's castles, palaces. That was pretty amazing. So I've done a lot of interesting things. I've traveled to 45 countries in the world, all over. And
Great.
I like the adventure, and I like the things I learn, and I like the people I meet. So that's my daily thing, is meeting people. That's why I met you.
That's exactly right.
I figure anybody who'll talk to me, I should get in touch with them. So,
I'll talk with you, Lee. It's so funny because you asked that question, and to some people, they may say, well, I tried a new dish at a restaurant. But no, Lee's jumping out of planes. He's staying in castles. And guys, you've got to come out to this event. So I hope you've had a lot of fun with 5 minutes with Lee Cockerell. His information's listed here. So reach out to him, get in touch. And most importantly, come out to the lunch. It is a live event. You'll get a chance to meet him, take a picture with him. If you have one of his books, you can order it on Amazon and get it delivered. Bring it with you. I bet he'll sign it for you if you bring it with you. We hope to see you there. Lee, thank you. I can't wait. We're going to be so excited to have you next week on Thursday, March 11th.
Thanks, Crystal. See you then.
Bye, everyone. Bye.